I am Luciana Hartwin. Welcome to the Lilith verse. If you find value here, please share, like, comment, and subscribe. She does not knock. She does not whisper sweetly in your dreams or leave feathers on your pillow. She laughs, a wild, low sound like thunder caught in a bottle, like the creak of the sky cracking open. Eris comes when everything seems just so, when the table is set, the smiles are plastered on, and peace is hanging by the barest of threads. That's when she tosses the golden apple. To the fairest, it says, not a gift, a question, a spark, a dare, and with that one simple act, truths come tumbling out. Secrets are unearthed. Empires begin to shake. Because Eris isn't the goddess of destruction. Not exactly. She is the sacred force of disruption, the necessary breath of chaos that pulls down the illusions we've built too high. She doesn't come to hurt you. She comes to free you. So, what if the discord in your life right now isn't punishment, but an invitation? What if everything falling apart is actually everything falling into place? Because it was never built to hold you in the first place. What if the storm is your liberation? What if Eris is calling you? Who is Eris? In the beginning, they say she was born of night, Nyx herself, making Eris a child of primordial darkness. Not evil, not malice, just necessary. The Greeks called her the goddess of strife and discord, but that only tells part of the story. Because strife can be sacred, and discord? Sometimes it's the only honest sound in the room. You might know her from the myth of the golden apple. The gods had gathered for a wedding, Peleus and Thetis, golden couple of Olympus. Everyone was invited. Everyone except Eris. That's the thing about discord. It's never invited to the feast, but it always finds a way in. So she came anyway, slipping into the party like a shadow through a keyhole, and with one well-placed apple marked to the fairest, she unleashed chaos. Goddesses fought, egos shattered, and somewhere down the line, a boy named Paris made a choice that led to a war that burned for 10 years. But this isn't about war. It's about what was revealed. You see, Eris didn't create the vanity or the tension. She didn't plant the seeds of arrogance in Aphrodite's heart or jealousy in Hera's. She just revealed what was already there, like sunlight showing the cracks in a statue's surface, like thunder shaking loose the dust. She's the mirror no one wants to look into because it doesn't flatter. It reveals. Eris doesn't break what's whole. She breaks what was already splintering. She shows you where the rot has set in, where the smile is painted on, where the truth has been buried under layers of polite silence and tight control. And yes, that can feel violent. But maybe it's the kind of violence that sets you free. The kind that rips the mask off. The kind that clears the ground so something real can grow. Eris is not your enemy. She is the crack in the mirror that makes you look twice. She is the golden apple in your hand, waiting. Is Eris calling you? Eris does not knock gently. She doesn't ease in, trailing perfume and soft promises. She arrives in a blur of motion, barefoot, wild-eyed, laughing like a storm breaking against cathedral glass. If she is calling you, it will not feel like peace. It might begin with a shiver of wrongness, a moment when the life you've built suddenly feels like someone else's costume. You might find yourself waking up in the middle of the night, heart pounding, not with fear, but with an odd clarity. Something must change. Jobs disappear. Relationships crumble. The story you've been telling yourself no longer holds. And strangely, in the ruins, there is something like relief. Not happiness, not yet, but a widening of the chest, a breath, a thought like, finally. Eris doesn't offer comfort. She offers truth. You may notice symbols surfacing, apples appearing in unexpected places, on signs, in dreams, on your altar. Not the soft apples of temptation, but golden ones, shining and heavy with meaning, a dare in fruit form, a challenge that reads, to the fairest. You might find yourself drawn to storms, lightning, thunder, chaos in the sky, trickster tales and righteous moments, the jagged edge of things, a sudden fascination with breaking rules, even your own. You may feel empowered at strange times, like standing amidst an argument, heart racing and knowing with certainty that this is right, that this fight, this disruption is exactly what needs to happen. Pretending feels impossible. Smiles become hard to hold. You see through masks, including your own. This is Eris. She doesn't send angel numbers or soft feather. She sends broken clocks, upturned chairs, arguments that cannot be unsaid. She crashes your systems and kicks at your foundation. But in the storm, there is something else. There is freedom. The kind that begins with the words, I can't do this anymore. The kind that begins when you stop lying to yourself. So ask yourself, not, is this chaos ruining me? Ask, is something greater trying to break through? Because Eris doesn't come to destroy what's sacred, only what was false. Eris and Lilith, sisters of the threshold. There are goddesses who cradle, goddesses who comfort and nourish and soothe. Eris is not one of them. Neither is Lilith. These two dark sisters do not walk the garden path. They stand at the edge of the forest and call your name in the dark. They do not promise safety. They promise sovereignty. Lilith is the one who said no. No to submission. No to silence. No to a life built on someone else's version of the truth. She left Eden not in shame, but in knowing. A moonlit exile with fire in her chest. She claimed her freedom even when it meant loneliness. Eris, on the other hand, does not leave quietly. She doesn't slip away into the shadows. She kicks the door off its hinges and throws the banquet into chaos. She doesn't say no. She says, look closer. She says, you think this is real? Watch it fall apart. Lilith teaches you to own yourself, your body, your choices, your desires. She is the whisper in the dark, the one who sits beside you in the silence and reminds you of your power. Eris is not content to whisper. She is the one who yells, and now what are you going to do with it? If Lilith is the inner revolution, Eris is the outer one. Lilith dances in the shadows of the moon. Eris dances in the firelight of broken empires. And still, there is room for both. One cracks the cage. The other burns it down. Following both Lilith and Eris isn't contradiction. It's evolution. There are times in your life when you need Lilith's stillness, her sensual reclamation, her boundary-drawing love. And there are times you need Eris's fury, her chaos, her golden apple hurled into the middle of your illusion. They are not the same, but they are aligned. They are not here to make you comfortable. They are here to make you real. So if you don't hear them both, don't worry. You are not torn. You are becoming. You are standing on the threshold where stories crack open and truth seeps through. You are not alone. And the door? It's already open. If Eris is calling you, how to respond? So the mirror has cracked. The lie has slipped off the tongue and won't go back. The golden apple has rolled into your life, and there's no pretending you didn't see it. What now? If Eris is calling you, the first thing to know is this: you are not being punished. You are being invited, not into calm, not into clarity, but into truth, the kind of truth that stings like salt water in a fresh wound, the kind of truth that sets the bones right, even if it hurts. Start with this. Journal your chaos. Not just what's going wrong, but what it's revealing. Track the cracks. Trace the fault lines. Write down the arguments, the breakdowns, the moments you wanted to scream or disappear. Then ask yourself, what is this trying to free me from? Chaos can be a breadcrumb trail if you are brave enough to follow it. Light a candle. No prayers, no scripts, just flame. Whisper to her, if you dare. Show me what's ready to fall away. Then listen and let go. Meditate on the golden apple. Close your eyes and imagine it in your hand. Warm, luminous, slightly too heavy. It reads, to the fairest. But the fairest doesn't mean the prettiest. It means the most honest, the one who cannot lie to herself anymore. What illusions of harmony, perfection, or peace are keeping you stuck? What are you holding together that's already breaking? Eris respects courage, not control. Have the conversations you've been avoiding. Be terrifyingly honest with yourself. Speak the words that shake the room, even if your voice trembles. But know this too, Eris is not without humor. She is, after all, a trickster. So embrace irony. Laugh when the plans fall apart. Wear mismatched socks. Take a different road home. Dance while everything collapses. Find play in the ruin. You'll need it. It will keep your heart soft while the fire does its work. If Eris is calling you, let her. Don't just survive the chaos, transform in it. Because when the dust clears, and it will, you'll find something new, something strange, something undeniably yours. A life not built from shoulds or shame. A life forged in upheaval and lit by your own flame. When Eris calls, the life you thought you wanted may fall to dust. But what rises from that dust, that will be yours entirely. Absolutely unearned and undeniable. Closing reflection. If she is calling, it's not because you are broken. It's because you are ready. Ready to break the mask. Ready to stop pretending. Ready to rise in the ruins and dance barefoot through the ashes. Eris does not destroy for sport. She destroys illusions. She rips the veil, tears the script, tips the table. She shows you what was already shaking, already dying, already too small for the truth of who you are. And once you've seen it, you can't unsee it. You weren't made to fit into cages, into small stories, into someone else's ending. You were made to crack open, to claim what's real, to become the storm and the stillness after. So if your life is shifting, if the pieces no longer fit, if the path behind you is burning and the one ahead is wild and overgrown, smile. She is with you, and you are about to become something entirely new. If you found value here, please share, like, comment, and subscribe. I am Luciana Hartwin, and this is the Lilith Verse.